Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch, located in Los Olivos, California, was more than just a home. It was a physical embodiment of the King of Pop's personal world. Inspired by the fantasy island of Peter Pan, it was a place of whimsy and wonder, but also a site of immense public scrutiny and controversy. This documentary explores the rise and fall of this iconic property, from its inception to its quiet sale. Jackson purchased the Sycamore Valley Ranch in 1988 for a reported $19.5 million. He renamed it Neverland after the fictional island in J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, a story about a boy who never grows up. In his own words, Jackson said he wanted to create everything that I never had as a child. His childhood was dominated by a relentless touring and recording schedule as part of the Jackson 5, and he felt he missed out on normal childhood experiences like going to amusement parks or playing with friends. Neverland was his way of compensating for that loss. The ranch was not just for him, however. Jackson envisioned it as a haven for children, especially those who were underprivileged, terminally ill, or in inner cities and had never seen mountains or been on a carousel. He opened the gates to thousands of children over the years, aiming to give them a day of fun and a chance to forget their troubles. The rides were even specially modified to be accessible for children with physical impairments. Neverland Ranch was an elaborate and sprawling estate. Key features included the main house, a 12,598-square-foot, 6-bedroom French Normandy-style mansion. The interior was filled with a mix of normal household items, strange art, and a vast collection of video game consoles. Amusement park, a private carnival with a Ferris wheel, carousel, a zipper, a super slide, and even a pirate ship ride. Private zoo, home to a menagerie of exotic animals, including giraffes, elephants, orangutans, and a variety of birds and reptiles. An elephant named Gypsy was a gift from his friend Elizabeth Taylor. Train station and railway, reminiscent of Walt Disney World, a steam train with the name Catherine, after his mother, took guests on a tour of the property. Movie theater, a 5,500-square-foot building with a 50-seat movie theater and a dance studio. Other buildings. The property also featured 3 guest houses, a pool house, a tennis court, and a man-made lake with a waterfall. Neverland hosted numerous events, including the wedding of Elizabeth Taylor to her 8th husband, Larry Fortensky, in 1991. Jackson himself was the best man at the wedding of his former bodyguard, Miko Brando, on the ranch. Neverland was also the backdrop for some of the most famous and controversial interviews of Jackson's life. British journalist Martin Bashir interviewed him there for the 2003 documentary, Living with Michael Jackson. During the interview, Jackson gave Bashir a tour of the ranch and discussed his childhood, plastic surgery, and his relationships with children. The documentary became a focal point of the molestation allegations that would follow, as it showed Jackson admitting to sharing his bed with children. Jackson later released his own rebuttal footage, claiming Bashir had a negative agenda. Neverland welcomed a mix of celebrities and normal visitors. Famous guests included Paul McCartney, Elizabeth Taylor, and Marlon Brando. The ranch was also a second home for child stars like Macaulay Culkin. But for every celebrity guest, there were thousands of underprivileged children who were invited to enjoy the magical world Jackson had created. The staff at Neverland was extensive, with some accounts suggesting over 100 employees, including a dedicated amusement park and railroad manager known as Big Al, Alan Scanlon. Accounts from former workers vary widely, with some speaking fondly of Jackson's kindness and humanitarianism, while others, like former maid Adrienne McManus, have made serious allegations about what they witnessed. The magic of Neverland came to an end following the 2005 trial where Jackson was acquitted of child molestation charges. He abandoned the property, stating he would never live there again. The ranch fell into disrepair as Jackson faced severe financial difficulties. The exotic animals were moved to other facilities, and the amusement park rides were dismantled and sold. In 2008, facing foreclosure, Jackson entered a joint venture with a real estate investment trust, Colony Capital, which took a controlling interest in the property. After Jackson's death in 2009, Neverland sat on the market for over a decade. Initially listed in 2015 for $100 million and rebranded as Sycamore Valley Ranch, the property's value plummeted due to its remote location, the stigma from the abuse allegations, and the significant costs required for renovation. The price was repeatedly slashed, dropping to $67 million in 2017 and then to $31 million in 2019. In 2020, the ranch was finally sold for $22 million to billionaire investor and former Jackson associate Ron Burkle. Burkle purchased it as a land banking opportunity, with no plans to restore it to its former state or open it to the public. The amusement park rides are gone, and the property has returned to a quiet, private estate, a silent closing chapter to one of America's most bizarre real estate sagas.